get to do that thing that I've always wanted to do as a little kid being on these buses growing up. Finally get to push that emergency button that says push that's just been teasing us our whole life. So we'll see what actually happens when you do that. Ooh, exciting. Leaking in the bus again. That is from the hatch that's right here. There's cracks all over the top of this thing, so it's been full of water, and we've just popped the thing here. So all that water is starting to come in, but we are getting rid of this today. It's a exciting weekend for us. We've got a big skylight going here and at the front of the bus to replace these hatches. One hatch. Oh, full of water. Well, that's pretty sick. As we proceed, we need to demo the old bits of the hatch, and then we'll start doing some measuring up and work out which bits of metal we need to keep versus remove. That wasn't hard. Hopefully it's not easy to move in.
Okay, so Ben is trying to get the rest of the cables from the emergency exit hatch out. We have just been planning and scheming on how we're going to frame this one up. This one in the back is a little bit different than the one in the front, a little bit more challenging, so we're starting with this one. The back part of the frame we're going to leave as is, and we're going to drill just right through the metal that's here. But there are a couple of spots, I don't know if you can see this, go just right under here, where we're gonna have to add an extra bit of framing in that'll come across this way, and then here as well as over here.
All right.
Cutting holes in the bus.
So I have done cuts on the roof to score the top of this because my grinder can't reach everything from underneath. So I scored the top, then came underneath and did the bottom of this stuff. So now these are all loose. It's just the sheet metal holding it on. They're glued to the sheet metal. So now I'm going to go on top, and I'm really nervous about this, but we're doing it. I'll draw a straight line between my cuts and then cut that across the sheet metal, and then it's all just going to come down.
Got it.
It's a big hole. Alright.
Alright guys, we just wanted to share a little bit about these skylights that we have. We found a plastics manufacturer that's close to us here on the Central Coast, and they have these custom made for us. It was actually quite inexpensive. They're about 200 bucks each. They are made out of an acrylic, 4.5 mil thick, and we opted to have a UV tinted acrylic tinting on here to help with the sun. So I know a lot of other people use a clear substrate, but we really wanted something that would shield us from the sun, but also it still lets in a ton of light. The sun here in Australia is really harsh, so we wanted a little bit of protection. Yeah, and they're so awesome so far. We've put this one up here in the hatch space already, and it is amazing.
Yeah, this one I just wanted to show you. This is the one that's going to go at the front. We decided to go with one that has a bit of a dome shape to it. The intention there is that the water is going to leak off of it, and we're not going to have to get up on the roof to wipe it down. So it also gives us a little bit of extra, well, gives me the extra head height in here, which is really nice. Meredith can put her hands straight up and not touch. All right, that's how we do it. Sweet. So now we can put a timber straight across this whole length. This timber in particular. So we can go the whole way across here. We'll neaten this up so it's perfectly straight. And yeah, have a skylight inside. Finally finished grinding. I can feel the metal on my forehead, but stoked with where we're at. Well, that's a lie. I'd be stoked if we had this thing actually in, but you know, we cut it out. It's in the right spot, so happy with that. Could have gone worse. I guess we're gonna work on packing up, and we'll get back at it tomorrow. We'll see you then. Matt took all the measurements for me, and now I've cut these pieces of timber so that each one is going to fit in the spaces between the bits of metal that we didn't cut out. And I've got these 100mm screws that are going to go from the back side here, and I'll drill through this, and then so they bite into the timber, holding the timber in place here. I'm just going to go through now and mark up where I want to pre-drill. So I guess it's going to be, we got 2 in this one, there, and if I can do it, there. We'll start with this one and see how awkward this is. Here we go. So that's one hole of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 16. Probably at least 3, maybe more screws on there. This is going to take a while. All right, settle in. Alrighty, these are the pieces that are going to make up the frame that we're going to eventually screw the skylight into. So they'll be laying like this, and what I'm trying to do right now is make a channel on the side of this for this steel bar that we have. The idea is here that one day we're going to have blinds to black out these. It's going to be reflective on the top. and just completely black out something underneath. And the idea is that we're going to put magnets stitched in around the edges of that, so that then when this will be sitting in here, and we'll have a nice finishing timber over the top of it, but the magnets are going to work through that, and that's what's going to hold the blind up. So right now I've got my saw blade set at the depth of the steel, so I'm only cutting in like 3 mil there, and then I'm just going back and forth. I've set the gate here so that my cuts are going to, when I run it this way, it's cutting on this side, and then I'm flipping it around to cut on the other side, and then running it back and forth multiple times to eventually cut this entire thing out. I'm being lazy here. I'm sure a carpenter would probably do it with a chisel, and I by no means have much training or experience with this thing, so if there's safety things that I'm not doing here, I do have my little, I don't even know what that's called, but to push the timber through. Don't copy me, just, yeah, I'm just trying to get it done right now. I think we're there. We're just gonna charge ahead now and get some stuff screwed in. To get the screws in this space, because with my bit on and these screws are pretty long, so my drill wouldn't fit up in this space, I've got this 90-degree tool. It is a Milwaukee brand. There's plenty of other brands out there, but this one, it costs a bit. I think it's like $80 or $100 here, but this is only the second one I've ever owned. These things are pretty bulletproof. You can use massive speed bores on them, and yeah, haven't broken it yet. I think I lost my first one. Someone probably stole it because they loved it so much. Check this out. Love it.
That was the one you're supposed to fix.
Ignore the thing that fell out. So plan now is I'm going to go up on the roof and we'll put this in position. Now that we've got these timbers here, we can see exactly where it needs to go. And then I will mark with my Sharpie where we need to pre-drill through the metal and pre-drill. And now I'm just going around with my Sharpie now that we know exactly where we want it. And well, we are gonna be able to pre-drill through the sheet metal. I'm just going to go where the timber is, because on this back side we are actually utilizing the hoop that is in that location, so I'll be using self-tapping screws there, so I'm not going to pre-drill that spot.
The products that we're using to adhere the skylights to the roof are these two. The first one is the Sikaflex 252. It is a construction adhesive specifically made for buses and trucks. We've talked to a couple of people about this, and this stuff is the bee's knees. A lot of confidence that this is not going to come off as we're rolling down the highway, if branches hit the skylight, etc. Super high strength stuff. This is kind of the stuff we've been ripping off throughout all of our demo phase, so this stuff is going to stick really well. Additionally, for a little bit extra confidence and water resistance, we purchased this Solar Flex. It is a UV resistant, super waterproof sealant that we're going to put around the edge of the skylight, just in case any water does get in the gap between where we put the 252 and the edge of the skylight. That's going to give us that nice kind of runoff edge on the edge of the skylight, and make sure that no water gets in. So that's what I got.
And now that that is all done, we're still going to go around it with some silicone. So it's a Solar Flex sealant. So I have not by any means screwed these down hard. It's more so just holding it in place. I went to a pressure where I could see that the product that we put underneath started to separate and spread. So I know it's making a good contact on the top and bottom there. So still going to hit it with this just for a little bit of extra precaution. It's kind of coming out like a jelly now. Finally got this thing in place and all bolted down. It was a huge project, way bigger than we thought it was going to be. Just more time consuming, but I guess you've got to give some things the time that they deserve. This is going to make such a difference to the atmosphere inside our bus and the light. So it's been a lot of work for Meredith to do all the research on this product. The lady that we bought it from absolutely hates us for all the questions that we've asked. But
it was worth it.
It is absolutely worth it. I've now got, you know, yay more head height in this part of the bus. So yeah, it's a great step forward for us. And if you enjoyed watching this video, please give us a thumbs up or subscribe to our channel would be most appreciated. I hope you guys have learned something. We're gonna have a stack more videos coming as we progress turning this bus into our new tiny home. Thanks for watching, guys. We'll see you in the next one. Bye.